Alright guys, how's it going? In this video, we're going to be talking about Giorgio Mamardashvili, or Milli Vanilli, as I like to call him, for shits and giggles. He is the Valencia goalkeeper, obviously. He is Anfield bound at the end of the season. I think his signing came out of nowhere at the time. If you remember, we were all like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It was a bit weird, wasn't it? But anyway, he's Anfield bound. And those of you that follow my channel will know that every day I review the Spanish football dailies. He obviously comes up every now and then. I keep an eye on him for you. I live in the Valencia community, the Valencia county, if you like. So Valencia is one of the nearest La Liga clubs to me. So in this area, while there's a lot of Real Madrid fans, as you get all the way through Spain, apart from, you know, around Barcelona area, in this area, it's Real Madrid or Valencia. So when I go to the cafe in the morning, you know, I do speak to some of the fellas the workmen or whatever that support Valencia. And we're going to touch on what's happening with him, you know, because there's an article published today, this one right here, for example, that I want to briefly look at with you. So I just don't know where to start, really. So there's, you know, a lot of people are like flapping a bit about him because he's getting poor reviews at the moment and he's not playing as best as he can, but you know, he's playing in a poor Valencia side, right, that have been struggling at the bottom of the table. They were rock bottom. They've climbed up a little bit now. So I just want to go over a few things with you, right? So it might be a long video, but I'll try and keep it as short as possible. So, Mamardashvili, where should we start? Right, okay, he was in action for Valencia yesterday. They drew 3-3 at Osasuna. This leaves Valencia third from bottom, 3 points from safety. All the teams around the bottom there, they're quite close on the points. You know, they've all played the same amount of games right through the league. In fact, actually, all played 26 games. No games in hand or anything like that. Now, Marca gave him a 1-star out of 3 rating for his performance yesterday, which is a common thing for him at the moment. AS didn't rate him at all in their ratings. Now, during the game and after the game, I monitored social media in real time to see what Valencia fans all over the world were saying. And they were giving him an absolute battering, to be honest with you. This morning, things had calmed down a bit, you know. It's no different to our fans, you know, when everyone's losing the shit and that. This morning, you know, people were a bit more level-headed and saying, well, what more could he have done with these goals? One of them was a penalty. I think the second one took a kind of strange bounce over him. But there is still criticism. There's no doubt about it. And the thing is, what I try to do with Cop Talk, whether it's on the members' website, whether it's in the videos or the podcasts or whatever, I try to bring you positivity and negativity as well. And you might think, why would you want to bring negativity? I don't want to bring negativity. But if you only pick out the positive news, the positive claims, the positive reports, are you really getting a fair assessment of things, right? So, you know, if there's a glowing report about him in the media, I'm going to tell you, hey, Mamardashvili's, you know, he's getting bigged up big time, right? If he's getting slagged off in the press, which he was last week in the national media, they wrote a big article about him saying what's happened to him. You know, who could have thought this once great goalkeeper has suddenly, you know, bombed? Then I'm going to tell you about it. I'm not going to hold it back because you don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? And what happens is with the Liverpool fan accounts on YouTube, the podcasts, the websites, whatever, they just want to like tell you all the good bits, right? So they'll just do, oh, look at, you know, Mamardashvili's last 10 saves or best 10 saves. You know, no one ever says, oh, look at his howlers or out like that. So here, right, I just try to bring you a bit of balance and say, look, this is what, you know, I have no control over what's being claimed or said, do I? But when I bring some negativity to the table, when I say, oh, there's this article in Spain today in the national papers saying this, that, and the other, people respond to me as if I wrote the fucking article, you know, and it gets right on my tits, to be honest with you. And it's like, whoa, I'm not saying that. I'm saying what the people, you know, the journalists or whatever are saying, right? So I've got to get that off my chest first, because it does me head in. So let's go, let's get on with the article. So on the members' website, there's a big discussion about it, right? About his performances and stuff like that. And there's an article published today by The Athletic or NY Times, whatever you want to, whatever, I don't know what it's fucking called these days. And it's this article here. Now, obviously, The Athletic is a website that you have to subscribe to. But a friend of mine was telling me that if you get any link from The Athletic or the Mail, is it the Mail? No, the Times, whatever, well, the Mail as well, anything that's behind the paywall. My friend was saying if you copy the URL and go to a website called archive.ph and go to the second thing where you can post a URL down the page, that it opens these articles up. I mean, I've never tried it, to be honest with you, but you might want to have a look, you know what I mean, for educational purposes. Anyway, I subscribe to The Athletic. Giorgio Mamardashvili wants to be Liverpool's number one. So what does Arne Slot do with his goalkeepers? I'm not going to go through this article. It's a very, very long article, and it's full of praise. It's full of praise for him. You know, talking about stats and defending his performances in this poor Valencia side. Now, what I want to do is, I'll leave that to you. You go and read the article if you're interested. But I want to comment on one bit in the article that said as follows. At Valencia, Mamardashvili is not cited as one of the reasons for the club's slide into trouble. That's what that journalist says, right? Of late, however, this is my words now, people are citing him, okay? Whether that's fair or not is for you to decide, not me. I'm just telling you what people are saying and what they think. So as you know, I live in the Valencia community, right? And when I go to the cafe each day, I've got my notes here. I review the Spanish papers, and you know, some of the fellas in there, they're calling for the second choice keeper, Dimitrievski, to be given a run due to recent performances by Mamardashvili. Now, Dimitrievski, he was mentioned in the article last week in the national media that was saying what's happened to him. You know, maybe it's time for Dimitrievski to be given a go in the side. Now, the number two keeper at Valencia is also very highly rated. In fact, Barcelona have tried to sign him twice. Well, they tried to sign him once, and then he was linked with them again, and nothing came of it. The move fell through because Barcelona had to move someone out for him to go there, but it didn't happen, right? It didn't happen. So he's a very highly rated goalkeeper. And some of the fellas I speak to, the Valencia fans, they're like, don't know what's wrong with Mamardashvili. You know, maybe his mind's on Anfield, on Liverpool now. You know, a bit like people say about Trent when he makes mistakes with Real Madrid. And, you know, so they're saying, you know, maybe the reserve keeper should be given a go, right? But I just want to mention to you that journalist is saying to you that he's not cited as one of the reasons for the club's slide into trouble, right? But he is recently, not previously, right? So Valencia are owned by Peter Lim. He's the guy that tried to buy Liverpool Football Club years ago. And the fans absolutely hate him. I mean, they have proper protests. You know what I mean? Like, not a few fellas and a few women or whatever, fans protesting, like fucking massive protest. They want rid of him. He's not investing in the team. The team's struggling, as you know. Did you hear Remy then? He's like, I'm sick of hearing about it. And so you've got a goalkeeper that's playing in a team that's struggling, right? With, you know, a shaky defence in front of him or whatever. And if Valencia have fallen down, you can't cite him overall for it being his fault. It's not his performances that have seen them drop down into a club struggling all season at the bottom of the table, right? But recently, what they're saying is that his performances of late are not that great, and he's losing points or costing them points, and they could be a little bit higher. But I can counter that, right? And say to you, well, all right, then maybe that is the case. But what about all the points he's won for the side and kept that team, you know, maybe the drawing 2-2 or something, and in the last minute of the game, he pulls off a wonder save, you know, so saves points, right? Or, you know, secures a point or whatever. So, yeah, he might be making mistakes at the moment, or, you know, he might not be getting 3-star reviews or whatever. But even if you review yesterday's goals, I'm sure you won't be too critical of them. But this is what annoys me, because I tell people, oh, you let 3 in, these are his, you know, when the goals were conceded, and people are jumping, oh, we put this past that, we still say, And it's like, listen, right? We're not talking about one game. This is what they're saying over a period of time, right? And there is no doubt about it, he's not playing as good as he can, right? Tranquilo, chill your fucking brow, right? I aren't concerned at all about it. I really aren't, right? So, let me crack on here with what I want to tell you. This is what I said on the members website today. Shout out to you if you're a VIP member, by the way. Fucking heroes. Information's in the video description. This is what I put this morning. I've seen him pull off some great saves, and I've also seen some howlers, but I could say that about every goalkeeper. I also feel that we do have to take into account that Valencia's, their defence, let me rephrase that. We do have to take into account that Valencia defence. And I think it is fair to say his head's already looking towards Liverpool. I'm not concerned. But I know there's people on social media, because I monitor everything, right, that I can. And I know there's Liverpool fans on there saying he's terrible. And then there's some people on there that seem to have a bit of an agenda as well, that are saying, like, this is Richard Hughes' mistake. Because this article bangs on about how it's Richard Hughes, was, the main man behind it all or whatever. The article's glowing, right? The article's glowing. And it defends his performances and makes comparison. And when you think about it, right? So he's at Valencia, he's got, defenders in front of him that are probably not being the best at the moment. He comes to Liverpool and he's then got, more better players in front of him, right? Now, I also commented on the members website today. Let me find this for you. Here we go. Should Liverpool fans be worried about Mamardashvili, right? And this is just something that I posted on there as well, separately from what I've just mentioned to you. His form isn't sparkling right now. Conceding 3 goals in a single game isn't the kind of stat line that inspires confidence. But before panic sets in, we need to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Valencia's struggles. Valencia are a team in disarray. A goalkeeper's performance is heavily tied to the defence in front of him. And Valencia's backline has been, shit, to be honest. Right? Now, Mamardashvili, no matter how talented, can't plug all the gaps alone. His track record, right? Now, when I mention statistics and things like that, you should always do your own research, because I could be wrong, right? And I have, I'll research a little bit, but sometimes one website might say something different. So please always do your own research. Do you hear that? So before this season's dip, Mamardashvili was widely regarded as one of La Liga's top goalkeepers. In the 23-24 campaign, he kept 13 clean sheets in 38 appearances, earning praise for his shot-stopping and command of the box. Liverpool's recruitment team didn't sign him on a whim. They've tracked him for a long time and they see him as a future star. Liverpool's system. When Mamardashvili arrives at Anfield, he won't be stepping into Valencia's chaos. With the likes of Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate shielding him, Mamardashvili will have a far more solid platform to showcase his abilities. That's if they fucking stay and sign new deals. I think they will. Development under Slot. Arne Slot and his staff have a knack for polishing a raw talent into world-class performers. You've only got to look at the likes of Gakpo and Gravenberg, maybe, definitely Gravenberg, who have thrived this season. Mamardashvili at 24 is still young for a goalkeeper and has room to grow. And Liverpool's goalkeeping coach will have a full pre-season to get started on moulding him into a Premier League keeper. That said, it's fair to keep a watchful eye. If Valencia's struggles persist and Mamardashvili's confidence takes a hit, it could complicate his transition. But for now, there's no red alert, just need for patience. And I said here, his recent performances shouldn't spark undue worry. Valencia's woes are dragging him down, but his talent and potential remain intact. When he swaps to Mestalla, for Anfield, he'll step into a supportive system designed to elevate players. Context is king. And Mamardashvili's story at Liverpool is yet to be written. You know, come the summer of 2025, this might just be a distant memory. But we don't know. We don't know. We could sign him. He could be fucking terrible, all right? We could sign him. He could be amazing. So what I'm trying to do with this video, I guess, I don't think I've done a very good job with this video, to be honest with you, is we can all, focus on promising articles like this, all right? Which is, from the English side of things, if you like, and, praise and making a justified defence. He's playing in a shit Valencia side, whatever. But we also have to consider, the Spanish side, right? And I see no reason why the Spanish media would stick the knives in on this goalkeeper. It's like, it's not a Real Madrid publication writing about a Barcelona goalkeeper or a Barcelona publication writing about a Real Madrid goalkeeper. This is Valencia, So I think that you can read all the praise you want regarding people that write about Liverpool Football Club and want to make it sound all promising and all that. And yeah, and good. There's no need to panic, all right? Which is what I'm saying to you myself. But you can't then dismiss, stuff in Spain and from the local media or the national media that says he's not playing what he did. Now, your negative, Nancy's or whatever, negative Nancy's, negative Nellies, is that better? They're always going to be like, oh, FSG, it's their fault, you know what I mean? Like, he's playing shit and we signed his goalkeeper, we don't fucking, you know what I mean? You're always going to get them. And then you're always going to get the positive Peters? Positive brats, there you go, that are always going to be like, oh, he's amazing. He's amazing. Look, I'm going to show you a video of his 10 best saves this season. Do you know what I mean? What I try and do is go down the fucking middle and say, yeah, there's a lot of promise there, and he's playing in a shit side, but fuck me, he should have saved that on fucking Tube. Do you know what I mean? Don't you guys? Right, that's it. I've had enough. I don't even want to talk about Mamardashvili, to be honest with you. I don't know, just some people losing the shit, and it fucking annoys me when people try and educate me and say, well, what are you on about, Chubbs? We signed Donaldson. All right, I'm just telling you what they're fucking saying, all right? And, he has not been at his best recently. Now, you can defend that as much as you want and say, that's because he's playing in a shit Valencia team, right? But then there's the media here is saying he's playing in a shit Valencia team, but he's the shittest one at the moment, right? That's the message. Quite frankly, I don't give a fuck. I don't. I have no idea what will happen of him. But right now, my own personal thoughts with this is do what I always say. Take a bit of the positivity, take a bit of the negativity, put it all together, digest it and think, well, there's obviously a very good goalkeeper in there. He's playing in a struggling side. He's maybe not at his best. But most importantly, maybe his mind's on Liverpool already. And maybe he has a bad game, and maybe then he thinks, fucking hell, they're going to be watching me and I must you just don't know what's going on in here, which is what some people would say about Trent and Real Madrid, the way that he performs sometimes. He makes a mistake. People are like, that's because his mind's in fucking Madrid. He's given up, blah, 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 right? Common sense, surely, I think, with the Mamardashvili side of things. Did we need him? Who fucking knows? If he comes and plays an absolute blinder and he's the best, he could be the best goalkeeper ever and we'll forever be going, well, fucking done you. You were fucking right. Shut up, you Spanish fucking pricks. You know what I mean? You don't know, do you? We don't know what he's going to do. At the end of the day, he's an incoming Liverpool goalkeeper and that'll do for me, He's not coming to sit on the bench. He's got a transition. But he's a very determined person. Very determined. He ain't coming to be a backup. He's coming to Liverpool to be number one. And when we signed him, when the deal broke, it was the most fucked up thing at the time. If you remember, we were all crying out for other areas of the team to be strengthened. Oh, we're just going to fucking buy a goalkeeper. But then with the injuries to Alisson, it's like, oh, hang on a minute. Have they doing well here? Have they, because don't forget they're privy to a lot more than we are, obviously. The only question, the big question for me isn't can he replace Alisson, which that applies to anyone coming in, is he going to be better than Kelleher? That's it. Is he going to be better than Kelleher, or was Kelleher already enough quality, as Rafa Benitez would say, hey, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, did we need to spend that money? We don't know. We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So I hope I've tried to give a little bit here. I'm not sure what I'm trying to achieve with this video. I just know that people are losing their shit, you know. And when I say, oh, here's his goals, he conceded yesterday, it's like, well, of course he's going to concede goals, he's a fucking good. And it's like, no, I'm just telling you what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, if he plays and saves 3 penalties, I'm going to be saying, here's his 3 penalties he saved. Do you know what I mean? If you appreciate this video, please thumbs up this video. Thank you. If you got a comment, please leave it in the comment section. And if you want to buy me a coffee, or I feel like a fucking pint, to be honest with you, I'm getting stressed out a bit, to be honest. If you want to buy me a coffee, please hit the super thanks button under the video, and I'll give a shout out to you tomorrow morning. That's right, in the morning briefing, I'll tell everyone how fucking great you are. When I go back to that when I go back to that cafe to review tomorrow's papers. So I'm not worried, guys. I'm not worried. Fuck it. What'll be, will be, won't it? Aren't you sick of talking about shite like this sometimes? Where you got to fucking explain it to people, do you know what I mean? It's always one side. There's no one in the fucking middle, is there? It's either, oh, he's the best thing ever, or he's fucking terrible. There's no in the middle with these people.